I was coming off of being in Miami a night of party, and I don't really remember what I was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Would you like a reminder?
Yeah, sure.
Play some.
Hey, yo, listen, yo, I love it all. I love it all, man.
You made a comment about how you was one of the few rappers that never sold their soul. What made you say that?
Because I know majority of these rappers. Yeah. I know what be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control.
Yeah, it's like, man, who is the new street rapper that we could sign that's gonna impact the masses in their city, and we gonna blow them up, and they young, so they don't realize that they being used right now, you heard me? They don't realize it. We gonna make them rich, and we gonna get one from every major city, because that way we can make sure that they give birth to a whole bunch of mini-me's that's looking up to them.
You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos and on TV, but I just know, I know what I know, man. You know what I mean?
You've heard the rumors in barbershops, seen sudden fame take over artists' lives, and watched careers skyrocket without explanation. But now, someone who lived it is speaking out. Lil Flip, the Houston legend who built his empire independently before major labels came knocking, has dropped a shocking truth. Most rappers have sold their souls, and what they asked him to do was beyond belief. He revealed that people were even sent to his home for what they called spiritual cleansing. But that's only the beginning. Other artists are now echoing his words, exposing the dark side of the industry and the hidden price of mainstream success. Behind the glitz, glamour, and viral hits, something far more sinister seems to control the music world, and fans are only just starting to see the truth.
Be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control. You know what I mean? I know the real. You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos and on TV, but I just know. I know what I know, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that ain't being righteous, and they ain't keeping it infinity, because keeping it 100 ain't enough. That's a limit. With me, you gotta keep it infinity. So it's just a lot of people, man, that's just, you know, selling their soul and selling themselves short and distracted with the wrong things. So, you know, it is what it is, man. This industry is a very evil industry, you know what I mean? Like, it's very evil, man. So you gotta really surround yourself with people that think like you or bigger than you. So it's a nice amount of, I ain't gonna even say nice, it's a lot of rappers that sold their soul, and, you know, they let money dictate everything they do. They value money more than they value humans. I ain't participating in no bullshit. If it ain't righteous, I don't want to be a part of it, man. I'm not gonna snake my people. Yeah, I ain't gonna snake my people, and yeah, I can't sell my people out, and I ain't gonna sell myself out. Fame ain't that important, man, for me to just do anything. It's cool. I'm used to the attention.
Lil Flip, the Houston legend who sold over 25 million albums without bowing to major label control, has just dropped a revelation that will send chills down your spine. He claims that most of the rappers dominating your screens have made an unimaginable exchange, trading something far more precious than their publishing rights or creative freedom, something they can never reclaim. According to Flip, these artists have betrayed everything they once stood for, and has seen it happen with his own eyes. He's watched real talent turn into hollow versions of themselves, consumed by a system that isn't just corrupt, it's evil at its core. What's even more disturbing is that many of these stars aren't unwilling victims anymore. They've become active participants in something dark and calculated. These aren't tough business choices, they're moral sacrifices. While Flip stood firm and refused to be part of anything unholy, others accepted offers that would make most people shudder. But the biggest question remains, who's really behind these offers? According to Flip, the people running this machine aren't random opportunists. They're strategic, organized, and methodical, studying their targets with the precision of scientists experimenting on human lives. They target artists only after spotting the perfect mix of raw talent and desperation. For months, they quietly observe from the shadows, tracking every struggle, every unpaid bill, every emotional crack that can be exploited. They study these musicians like case files, noting their financial stress, personal losses, and hunger for success. By the time they finally approach, they already know exactly what to offer, and what the artist is willing to sacrifice to escape their circumstances.
Yes. Industry plans exist, yes. The music industry will conspire to say what this artist represents is something that we need more of in America. So if it's extreme ignorance, if it's watered down blackness, if it's whiteness that represents being able to be cool and be accepted by black people, whatever it is, we want more of that. So we will do everything in our power to make this person pop off and be a star, to push this agenda. Or we have a vested interest financially in seeing this artist make it. Because not only do we have this artist signed to us, but we manage this artist, and we know that this artist is going to create a whole generation of people just like them. Yeah, they definitely got industry plans. Yes, all of these black artists who ain't even old enough to understand the contract that they about to sign, and who are being signed just because they had one thing that went viral, that they glorifying a bunch of murder and a bunch of just negativity, and all of a sudden they about to get paid millions of dollars. Those are industry plants. The industry knows the impact that those artists will have on the rest of their community. They know it. And they're just like, oh man, we need that person to make it for sure. But if you are representing something positive or something righteous or something intellectual or godly, you absolutely have to do way more work to make the industry say, all right, we're gonna let them in. It's like, all right, we're gonna let a J. Cole in. We're gonna let a Kendrick Lamar in. But we got enough. We got enough of them. You know what I'm saying? We got enough of them. You realize that J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are two of the richest rappers walking planet Earth today? Two of the most successful rappers? Why would the industry not want more J. Cole's and more Kendrick Lamar's?
Yeah, they don't even floss or anything, bro. You don't see them with jewelry, none of that.
Bro, J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar scare the industry, because if they let more of them in, you're gonna have a whole generation of people coming up who are black, who are saying, I ain't even gotta flaunt no jewelry, you heard me? I ain't even gotta flaunt fancy cars, and I can be intellectual, I can be woke, I can be a man of God.
Or rap about it.
Or rap about that stuff. And if you got a whole generation of black people that's coming up, that's like, man, there wasn't one J. Cole and one Kendrick Lamar. There were a ton of them, and they were all huge. Now keep in mind, a ton of people exist who are doing the same type of work that Cole and Kendrick are doing. And they're doing that work in their own way. I'm one of the people, you know? And there's a bunch of people that are doing that. But for the mainstream music industry, man, they don't want a bunch of that to exist, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't want more of that.
The recruitment system, according to Flip, deliberately seeks out struggling black artists, the ones facing financial hardship and moral exhaustion. Desperation, after all, makes people easier to manipulate. They never go after established, independent names like Lil Flip, because targeting someone financially stable and free from label control would be too risky. Instead, they focus on broke musicians, those buried in debt, ignored by the mainstream, and emotionally worn down after years of rejection. It's a system designed to break people first, then offer them a lifeline that comes with invisible chains. And when these gatekeepers finally make their move, what they ask for isn't just shocking, it's something that completely shatters the illusion of what the entertainment industry truly is. What Flip describes next changes everything you thought you knew about fame, success, and the real cost of being in the spotlight.
No.
Have you ever been approached to do anything out of pocket?
I've been approached to have somebody come to my house and pray. And yeah, like, hey man, this guy, yeah, he's like he gets spirits out, and you know, he wants to come and pray. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I want to continue to pray the way I've been praying. I don't know who he believe in and what he believe in, but he can't come in my house. So, yeah, peace. I kept God in what I got going on. I kept God. I keep God in what I got going on. I don't love money. I talk for myself. I come from a family that programmed me and trained me to be out in this world and out in the streets and knowing how to maneuver. So you can't lure me with no money or nothing like that. Like, meaning like, If I don't want to do the deal, I ain't gonna do the deal. The difference between me and a lot of artists is I started doing music for God. My grandmother played the piano. I was in the church. I sung in the choir. I played the drums, played the piano, sung in the choir for God, went to different churches and sung here and there, right? For God, doing music in the studios, making gospel music, making hip hop. But I started off doing music for God. So I'm not gonna let money dictate every move I make when it comes to music. It's a blessing for me to be able to create. The money is gonna come. So I just pride myself in treating people right, and relationships outlast money. So you treat people right and you move the correct way, you'll have longevity. So for any artist or anybody that's a hater or just a fan or whatever you are, if you feel like some of your favorite artists fell off, sometimes you gotta just go take a trip down there and link up with them and see how they living. Cause I can speak for the artists that's in Texas. We still getting money, we still working, we still touring. We not broadcasting everything we do.
Lil Flip exposed something truly disturbing. Industry insiders allegedly tried to invade his personal space under the pretense of offering spiritual cleansing. But according to Flip, this wasn't about faith or genuine healing. It was something far darker. He claims they wanted to perform sinister rituals inside his home, disguised as spiritual guidance. The idea that they would approach a successful, independent artist like him and suggest such a thing shows just how bold and manipulative these operatives can be. And as shocking as that sounds, Flip insists that what other artists have gone through is even worse. The deeper you go into the industry, the darker the demands become.
Yeah, depending on what part of the industry you're trying to get access to, there's gatekeepers. So if you're trying to get signed to a major label, there's gatekeepers. If you're trying to get on certain media platforms to get interviewed, there's gatekeepers. If you're trying to get on the mainstream radio, you heard me, urban radio, there's gatekeepers. Yes. On the totem pole of people with integrity and people with morals, values, and principles, these gatekeepers ain't nobody. But in this perverted, sick, twisted industry, these gatekeepers do hold access to certain levels, you know? Bro, I've had gatekeepers in the music industry who have literally tried to hold a record deal behind their back and let me know, like, look, if you're a part of this homosexual act that I'm trying to take part in, you hear me? Yeah, come on, this door open real quick for you. Like, I got a song where I've talked about that before called The Devil's Playground. Like, this is real, dog. And the only way that type of stuff can work on you is if you let them have all the leverage to where you want what's behind that gate that bad. So that's a real thing. You also got people who, this is a different type of gatekeeper. The gatekeepers who will say, hey, you making too much righteous noise right now. If you just tone that righteousness down a little bit, then we'll allow you into these doors. But you got to tone that down. You got to become a little more vanilla, you heard me? A little more lukewarm, a little more bland, and you'll fit in with us more. So that's the slick gatekeeping. It ain't telling you to all the way, you know, bend over or open your mouth or something like that. It ain't that, but it's telling you, like, dim your light. And what ends up happening is you got so many people that's like, well, that's not that bad. They not asking me to do nothing super crazy. I just got to dim my light. That's the scariest kind right there. Because a lot of people will be like, wait, I just got to turn it from level 10 to level 5? Man, bet. I could do that, bro. I bet. Now I get accepted? Cool. Next thing you know, you got a whole industry, brother, that's lukewarm. Whole industry lukewarm. So that when somebody that's on fire come along, they looking at it like, whoa, you crazy. Hold on. You shining too bright. Hold on.
D1, another truth-speaking rapper, has exposed one of the darkest tactics used by industry insiders. He revealed that record executives literally offered him deals in exchange for participating in disturbing, compromising acts, not as a metaphor, but as a direct condition for fame. They tempt struggling artists with everything they've ever wanted: major label contracts, radio play, and mainstream recognition. all tied to actions that would strip away their dignity forever. The strategy preys on desperation, working only when ambition outweighs integrity, when fame becomes more valuable than self-respect. What's even more chilling is that these aren't random cases. D1 says it's a coordinated system of manipulation across the entire industry. Artists are targeted, tested, and pushed with increasingly degrading requests until someone finally gives in. Both Lil Flip and D1 stood their ground, refusing to participate, but their revelations spark a haunting question: how many others said yes? And what happens to those who don't? According to them, rejection doesn't end the story, it triggers retaliation. In this world, refusing the system doesn't just cost you fame, it can cost you everything.
Yeah, when it comes to artists, but the people that I've encountered, see, I can't speak on the people that I haven't met. So when I said that, I'm speaking on 99% of the artists that I've met. They've done funny and, you know, said they was gonna do this and didn't do that, and then God will put them like right around me, like, you know what I mean? And instead of me being like bitter because somebody promised me, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this for you, I just be like, all right, I just put you in my book as a liar. You know what I mean? Because there's people that'll see you in public. I call it Hollywood talk. Hey, what's up, bro, man? I'm a fan of your music, man. We got to do something, man. Here, take my number. Do you take their number? They don't answer. You know what I mean? They don't answer, but they might do an interview and be like, yeah, Flip, one of my favorite rappers. But then they don't answer their phone. And then when they see you again, it's like they seen the ghost. Hey, man, take my number, man. I know we supposed to do something. It's cool. You offered the verse. I didn't ask you for the verse. You know what I mean? So it's cool, man. People promise you all kind of shit in this industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't deliver. But I'm a solo artist, so I gotta depend on me. Everything everybody told me not to do worked for me. So whether a person keep their word about rapping or singing on the song, it's not gonna stop me from getting where I need to go. Cause I'm gonna go put the work in, and I put the work in already.
Yeah, you also mentioned that, you know, you helped a lot of rappers, and once they got on, they went Hollywood on you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's one that went super. It's one that went super Hollywood, man. I'm like, damn, bro, you really changed like that, bro. But like I say, man, I was prepared for it, man. I don't be surprised by nothing I see no more in this. So I just take that this face value, man. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, that money shows your true character, man.
Yep, and I'm gonna be the same whether I got it or I don't got it. It don't make me.
Real talk. How you feel about the people that say the Houston rap scene fell off? From your point of view, what happened?
I can't speak on what happened with anybody else's life. I kept doing music.
No, in general.
No, but
the Houston music scene.
No, but what I'm saying, I can't speak on what happened, meaning like, I don't know what other people was doing in their life, or whether you want to say the momentum to slow down or whatever. Everybody got their own different situations. Some people left labels. Some people, you know, did tech stuff. You know, everybody had different reasons for why they did what they did, but